One, here we go. Hi, everybody. How we doing today? I hope you're doing great. As you can see, I'm doing fantastic. Look how happy I look. I'm so happy right now.
Did a bug like that for OBS still? That's amazing.
What? No, that's just my happy
Yeah,
face.
he's done it on purpose.
Yeah.
This
I
isn't a
didn't
bug.
realize
This
that it
is
was like that on
this is
OBS
a
as
Scott
well.
thing.
That was just.
The man's got problems.
What? No. My only problem is how much I love you, Neil. Hi. Oh, I forgot to turn off this light over my head. That's fine.
So
right.
unfortunately, guys, Scott does have COVID brain. It's pretty bad.
That's why I said I love you. It's not actually true. It's the virus talking. It wants
is
to
true.
return to its master.
The problem is that he thinks it's a problem. And who is the virus's master, Scott?
I was about to say what?
Yeah, give us a
return to
sweeping
his
statement
master?
live on Twitch.tv, huh? Yeah, go on, do it.
I got it from Tyler, so I got it
Got
from
it from
Tyler.
Thailand? What the hell, dude? You can't just make statements like that.
No,
My God.
no. I said
I'm so sorry about him,
Tyler.
guys.
Tyler.
He knows exactly
He's
what
running
you
a
said.
fever. He's semi-delirious. He doesn't know what he's doing. Yeah, he didn't update the overlay.
Yeah.
He
I
says
said that.
he'll have time
I'll
afterwards.
do it today.
But
I'll
like,
do today's session.
he's not. Literally, he's come out of his Vader in his downtime. He's in like his little life pod with his helmet off. That's Scott, but in the shower with the vapor up. He's just sitting in there going. And that's all he's doing the entire time, all his downtime. Correct. Triss is supposed to be a warden. No
Correct.
other promotions happened, right? So
Yeah, none at all.
he's just gone.
Yeah, no, he's gone.
Should we go as well? Should we just head out?
I mean, everyone turn your cameras off, I guess.
Good sesh, boys. See you later,
Peace.
chat. Have a nice week.
Right, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet. Shh.
Look at his little grid. See, the reason it took him so long is because his laptop was on the other side of the room. And he's like, do we want to take bets on what he's doing? Do you think he's up late updating the overlay right now? I bet that's what he's doing. He's doing it right now. He's doing it live, boys.
Why would he be doing it on his laptop?
I mean, he's a boomer, right? He doesn't realize that they're inferior. He's like, look at him with his Apple laptop.
He's using the trackpad.
This is his true form.
He has evolved. But, you know, that's as far as he's going to evolve.
I mean, I would argue like he's devolved, or at least his facade's gone. Look at that old-timey radio in the background there. Holy crap, on the right of it. Do you think
Oh
that
my
radio
God.
is from when he was but a young man?
Oh, wait, no, that's the... I have to give credit where credit is due. I'm pretty sure that's the radio they made. So it works like a modern radio, but it looks like that, which is actually pretty fucking cool.
That's pretty pog, yeah, to be fair.
Love it how we're just supposed to have carried the stream, while he's doing.
I know, right? It's he's just gone.
We're losing viewers, man.
expected like a bit to last like a couple
Viewers are
minutes.
dropping off by the
Yeah.
second.
Yeah, I was expecting like like a Mimi, but he's actually just doing it.
I know, right? I thought he was gonna like do it, come back, pretend, and then come back to stream.
So unfortunately, this is what I meant about the COVID brain. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not sure he even knows he's live right now. He's entirely delirious. It's a shame. It is fine if it only cuts into podcast time. What? I thought you loved podcast time, Norway. I thought you wanted it extended.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's all green turns up for, right? Just the first hour.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I worry if it's taken him this long to change the overlay. Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say, hang on. This is
is it really that hard? Someone just like knock on their screen.
It's
See whether you can
okay.
get
You know
his
what?
attention.
It's this hard if he didn't keep the original file.
Oh, making it from scratch. That's a very Scott thing to do, isn't it? Should we should we
what he
should
probably
we
did
come
is
back
probably
now?
flattened it in Photoshop for the final like look, and then was like, ah, shit.
I'm back. I'm here. I didn't really leave. It was all a joke.
I guess I should put mine back on too.
We're all in the wrong place. Excellent.
Good.
Well, at least I can crit for like 200 and something now.
Hells yeah.
Feel strong, man.
Only on horseback.
Yeah, that is true.
That's it. Norway's heading out. It's like, have fun today. Bye. Literally, that's his I'm a head out line right there. I mean, the problem is he's got his headphones off, so there's like, we could level up. I'm trying to think of things we could do without him. We could level up and just not tell him.
Oh yeah, I can start the level up process. He can't stop us.
I reckon we might be able to get a good way through it.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, at this rate.
I'm pretty sure I could have leveled now, like my character in this time. I'd say.
Yeah, I think.
Mine will probably be a little bit harder because I have to choose a feat this next level, I think.
You need to choose a feat. I don't know what I need to do for next level. Actually, let me have a look. Oh, Pathfinder.
Oh no, next level's where I get an extra like turn of attacks. Next level's good. I like next level.
Extra turn of attacks.
Yeah. My crystal gets to have his own round of attacks using my bab.
Ah, cool. What level are we now? 6, 7, 6.
Yeah, we're level 6.
7th, I could do that super quick. My bab goes up a bit, and my challenge goes to 3 a day. Imagine meeting 3 mobs that require challenging. That'd be quite difficult, I think. We're level 6 now. Yeah. But we've not been 6 for long. 2 sessions? 3 sessions?
I don't know because we haven't had a chance to do much with it because we've been like half dead asleep for most of that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I mean,
There was a session you missed, I think.
That was the session we leveled.
We leveled,
but then we didn't actually get to get our level until like 2 sessions later.
Mhm. I'm not sure whether we want to have words with Resin today. That's an interesting point. He's
What?
not necessarily intrinsically bad because he's a necromancer, but he is the leader of a terrorist organization.
Oh no, he also he participated in the murder of the general guy we liked.
The battle commander.
Yeah,
Was it battle commander, Raylor?
it was battle. It was battle commander. Fuck, names are annoying because there's so many of them.
Yeah, it's Raylor. Yeah, I'm
Raylor,
not sure. I'm not sure you'd necessarily like the alternative plan, Norway. It's not quite in line with your sort of style of things. But we could cut the difference and break his fingers. Hmm? And
He's just like, oh, good God.
I can't believe that Scott just wasted 15 minutes of all our time for whatever the hell that was.
Yeah, whatever the hell that was.
So what you need to do now, guys, is all. No, I don't know. I've had professional soldiers for some time. I got no ranks. No, I got one rank in.
Oh, I got hiccups.
Are you happy now?
No, you wasted our time.
Whatever the hell was
We've
that?
literally
It was
lost- we've literally
either
lost.
It was either spend
We
10
lost-
minutes doing that now or listen to you bitch for 10 minutes. So I was like,
We've lost-
let me go with the way that ends with it being done.
Why?
We'd lost-
Why did
we'd
you
lost,
do
like,
that on the
3
laptop
viewers.
with a trackpad?
You've
That's
not been
why
here.
Because- Because
not been
I
here.
don't use GIMP or anything like that. I literally
But
just
I've
use
been-
software that's already built into iMacs or a MacBook. Sorry.
I've been telling everyone to unsub on Patreon.
Oh, that's fine.
We had no. Oh, the views went back up. they're back. They're back. They went to Patreon. You see, now they're back.
Oh, okay, there you go. Okay.
Oh, that W is strange.
Yeah.
Wow,
That's part of the font.
that is quite something.
It's an aggressive W.
Mm.
Yep. I didn't write the font. Oh. Okay, what does it say right here? All right, so I am back now. The overlay has been updated. Is everybody happy? I'm sorry. Jake, did you give Neil his bi-monthly back rub that he fought for?
Yes.
You did? Okay.
That's why we turned our cameras off.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That was quick. I personally would have wanted a longer one if it was me, but that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, well, Jake doesn't take as long as you to get the job done.
Oh, well, I'm just saying I savor the moment, saying I really like to enjoy each and every, yeah. So, let's get into the game. When last we left off, let's see. I don't remember exactly where the last sessions began, but at some point in time, you guys went to the commander and was like, hey, we have actionable intel. Can we work on it? And she's like, sure. And you're like, can we bring our boy? And she's like, no, he's not here this session. And you guys are like, oh, yeah, that's right. Let's just do this actionable intel without him. You worked upon that intel, and then she was just kind of like, wait, actually, weren't you supposed to be relaxing? And you were like, yeah. And then you went and talked to the gnome and got some like good information from him and found out that he is going to do a little bit of research for you or what have you. You got him to write with a spell, and then you got him to write with his actual hands. Did some ridiculously good skill checks and realized, this might this might be him, but we have no definitive evidence. And then all of a sudden you're like, Pan, not Pam, Pan, can you do your spell? And she was like, I succeeded a roll because I'm not an enemy. And the DM was very upset. And then you guys are like, oh, that is him. We need to have a conversation with him. Well, you know what? We're supposed to meet with him, I think, tomorrow night. But We're hoping to hear from the Arcane Congress tonight, and then we'll crash his party in the morning. Damn. The Arcane Congress didn't get back to us tonight. Let's talk to them in the morning. Damn. Their session was, what's the word I'm looking for? Interrupted. All the while, there's a ship that rolled into the docks. There's a weird, funny-smelling fog that exists throughout the city.
Oh, I forgot about the funny-smelling fog.
We get it. Okay. Rena fired. We get it.
Why Rena? Her name's not Messy.
Because you said funny smelling? Have you ever like been tear gassed? Pepper sprayed? You don't like sniff that and then go, oh, that's a funny smell.
I have neither been tear gas nor pepper sprayed. I have absolutely been to protests, but when things turn south, I don't stick around. I'm not the kind of person that's going to get tear gassed. Nope.
Look, I'm just saying.
Didn't I see you on TV in the Capitol building, Scott?
Yeah.
Carrying you out a lectern? Was that you?
Like, please someone Photoshop that. I'd like to see that. Just like...
No! No! I was coughing. I
damn.
couldn't hear myself. No.
Just before he starts his new job, let's make that go viral.
I'm holding a sign that says, "This is why I voted for Warren." All right. Okay. So, ship, dead soldiers, funky fog, Black Knights almost.
It's
all
funky
the leaders,
now.
Yeah, funky. Well, it's the smell of the rotting oranges. Yeah. Yeah. See, I even have a clementine or what have you right here to represent.
You sure it's clementine?
Well,
Or if it's a Satsuma?
I don't know. It's a small orange. That's all that matters to me. And yeah, that's it. Okay, cool. I'm good.
So Scott's not got much energy this session, guys. So I am viciously gonna go after him. After that gag this morning.
That was not the direction I thought that was going to go.
All right.
So I'm going to give him a rest. Nope.
Well, we can have a classic regicide session. We'll spend 4 hours to get 15 minutes of RP done. So let's do this. Perfect. We're on pace. All right.
Glad we all had the same thought.
That wasn't a planned gag. Which is the funny thing. We all just sat there silently.
All right. So what's you went to the AC, and I told you I gave you like a pretty quick. That way, there's no question marks or whatever going into this session. I was like, you're gonna go to the AC. And I'm gonna tell you right now. They're gonna say there's gonna be like a sign or whatever, a person. They're saying, yeah, sorry, the meeting was canceled because of what's happened down at the docks, and they had to send blah 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 down that direction. Now you guys you're more than welcome to engage in some more RP with this, because I just threw that information at you. That way you could kind of like plan accordingly if you needed to, or get the right mindset if you needed to over the course of the week. But so you're in the RP. There's a AC member in front of you saying, "I'm so sorry, but we'll definitely have deliberation later on today."
We were meeting him in the morning, right? So we didn't have time
You were
to
supposed to
wait.
be meeting him in the evening. And I think
that's right.
all three of you came to this meeting.
That's right. And so I can't remember if that meant there was definitely no chance of them helping us in time, or we could wait till the afternoon.
That's right. My apologies. You are meeting them in the morning. That's right, because you didn't want to wait until their deliberation. You wanted to get their deliberation first. That's right. You're meeting him in the afternoon. You won't get deliberation until the evening because of what happened at the docks has led to their meeting being canceled. More or less, timing worked against you. Okay, my apologies. So
I remember timing worked against us. I remember that was definitely a thing.
So you're with the AC in the morning, and they're like, "I'm so sorry, we won't have an answer for you till tonight." But you're welcome to speak to the AC more than that if you care to try to extrapolate more information. But they were like, we had to cancel the meeting yesterday because of what keeps happening in the docks. like things have escalated, so more people had to go down there to handle the situation. And you guys got little tidbits about that. You heard that one soldier say, I don't think that they're achoo! Or something like that, right? Oh no, the door shut. That's what it was. Out of the door shut. And the second time it happened,
that's right.
Jake said,
Yeah, no, we heard about that. Yeah, we heard about that something was happening, and then the door shut.
yeah.
Can we just take a moment to talk about the evil characters tag on this stream?
That's just left over from last night. I can fix it. Evil PCs I might leave up, though. All right. Stop being distracted. Jump into the session.
No.
No.
Take it away, boys. You're inside the Arcade Congress. They give you the news. You're all three of you standing there staring at them. They're like, so that's about it. Is there anything else I can help you out with? The cafe's closed right now. They say quickly, like gesturing towards the doorway to it. It's closed. It's closed right now.
When will it open?
It probably won't today because of the reduced staff on hand.
You telling me they need the chef down on the docks? Are you a wizard too?
Yeah.
Oh.
You can only work for the Arcane Congress after you've received enough degrees, and if you're not able to make a living outside of the Arcane Congress's four walls, they'll always make room for you here, based off the merit of your talents.
Is that why you are a receptionist?
I'll have you know.
Gal's just like, okay, Tris. This doesn't even
Wow, I like Neil here, just shitting on important jobs.
Well, this is definitely not good. Do we still go
put
ahead?
The paperwork in 2 days ago now. Still waiting.
Well, you have to understand, there are dead
I'm not
people.
talking. Yeah, we walked away.
I'm sorry. I saw you still standing in front of me. You didn't specify that you were walking away. I can go
Sorry.
along with this role play for you if you'd like.
Take step to the side.
You don't just have to say it, sir. You can just do it.
I am doing it. No, I assume we're leaving because there's no point in us staying here.
Yeah. We are. Yeah. Look, we knew this was going to be the slow route. It was just unfortunate that things changed and it was more urgent than we realized.
Right, so what have we got on the agenda? A meeting with Resin and waiting for the Arcane Congress. Looks like we've got a full day.
Thrilling.
Do you want to go ahead with the meeting or wait?
What time's the meeting, Scott?
Around noon. You have a couple hours.
They do horse racing here.
Not in this city, but in general, there would be horse racing in Paradel, yeah. Usually closer to a deer, because that's where some of the best steeds are, right? So you can imagine there's horse racing in other places as well, but Melisal Harbor wouldn't be one, not with everything that goes on here. But yeah, throughout Paradel and other nations, sure. But you know that, again, the Adirian horses are the best stock. Why do you ask?
I don't know, we got time to kill.
Oh. I grew up in Revere, Mass, right down the street from well, at least one of the places I lived growing up, right down the street from Suffolk Downs, which is a dog racing track. But
I live near a greyhound thing as well.
It's outlawed now because it's seen as cruelty, but in the state at least it's
not
outlawed.
here,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Well, you know what's funny is that you can have dog racing that isn't unethical, but they just chose not to follow those guidelines, which is why it's now illegal. Actually, it was 18 years old when that vote came through, so I got to vote for it to be illegal. But anyways, now they use it for, or at least unless it's changed the past couple of years, they do lots of like, let's say you're doing like a walk for like autism or a walk for like cancer or something like that. You just like walk in the mud or in the dirt area. And so one time I did an Autism Speaks walk down there, and it was fucking pouring cats and dogs. I threw away those shoes afterwards. They were just utterly ruined. They were destroyed.
Yeah, that's not salvageable.
No, you're walking in dog track dirt in pouring rain for like a couple of hours. Those shoes are thrown away. I think I was 23. But anyways, continue. What do you guys want to do? I mean, if you just want to kill town, you could just say, honestly, you want to go shoot dice?
All right, keep going, sorry.
Do you have anything you want to do, Neil?
I need someone to do a light bit of sewing for me.
Sure. Oh, did you guys see the symbols that I worked on in Nerd Stuff?
I did.
They're very modernistic.
I liked them.
Yeah. Yeah, I just tried to have a little fun with
it. Did you pin it?
I didn't, but Joey was actually making them look prettier. So after Joey is done making them look prettier, I'll put it down into the Kingdom characters area and I'll pin it and whatnot. So thank you to Joey for making them look prettier. But continuing, you guys. So you need some sewing done again. If you guys just wanted to say time skip, we can kind of time skip. This does feel like regicide.
Yeah.
We're gonna spend 20 minutes talking about skipping.
Yeah, I just need a small amount of sewing done. I need someone to make me a banner.
Oh, okay. Well, a banner is something a little bit different because if you want a banner done, unless it's like stitching two colors together, if you're making a proper banner, that takes a little bit of time. But they can absolutely do that for you. Usually, you can just get that done down at the big barracks building, but clearly that's a little bit occupied. Now, you are a warden, and you were given a degree of authority over some of the soldiers there. You could, if you don't want it to be done by a proper seamstress or what have you, or a seamster, you could issue order for a couple of soldiers to do that for you.
I was just going to pay someone.
Sure, that's fine. Absolutely. So, like I said, it's just going to take a little bit of time for you to get it done.
That's fine. That's everything in this game for the past 2 sessions.
So, I will just sit here and give you guys a minute to decide.
Well, we're time skipping. That's it. That's all we needed to do.
Sewing
that COVID brains hit you hard. That was the only thing any of us wanted to do.
Okay, there we go. All right, so time skip. You go straight to the meeting with what's his face?
You been to the stables at all, Neil?
Of course. Can't leave Carrick in his stables forever.
All right, well then let's go to the meeting.
Cool. So yeah, I mean, honestly, you could just say you skip time, spending it with Carrick and what have you, and then you go to meet up with him. Now, I forget, did he specify where he was meeting with you? Because otherwise, yes. Oh, where was that?
The inn that we were at last time.
Perfect. So he will go in join up with you. So I imagine you guys
when we get there already.
Waiting. I mean, if you're waiting, you could be there earlier. You could show up on time. It's up to you.
Oh, I suppose we get there a little bit early.
Okay, then he will show up. A couple minutes early, but we're talking like 3-4 minutes, nothing crazy. But
if he's not there exactly when we walk in the morning, we'll just wait for him outside, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And so he walks. He'll come walking up and give each of you oh, hello. More afternoon for you. It's a interesting afternoon, isn't it? Kind of gesturing to the fog. Lingers.
About the same as the last few days.
Yeah, it's been thick here for a while now. What do you make of it?
Well, we said that smell, the rotting oranges. But I don't know. Do you know? Did you manage to place it since we spoke last night?
The smell?
Yeah, the smell.
I mean, I certainly am familiar with the smell. I can smell it. Yes. It's comes and goes because you get a bit desensitized to it. It's like when your wife cooks broccoli and then the whole house smells, but then you get used to it. But you step outside to take care of the dog, but then you step back in and oh boy, it smells quite intense again. This happened to me yesterday, out of game though, not in game. And then like later on, you go pick up your daughter from school, and like you're out of the house for like a good 40 minutes almost.
How long are you cooking broccoli for?
And this is several hours later, and you walk back in the house and you're like, sorry, Aurora, that smell is your mom cooked broccoli a few hours ago. And she's like, okay, Dad. Like, no, really.
I guess Triss would tie Carrick to the I presume the buildings around here have appropriate stationing for a horse.
Yeah. You're fine because you're in or whatever. So Kara could be nearby, within like a block or so. You're fine. But so anyways, so
we don't have one out the front of an inn.
No. Because again, you have to think about city blocks or whatever, like how densely packed everything is. Things will be nearby, but like if you've ever been to New York City, you don't get to park your car where it's convenient. You park your car and then walk to where you want to go to. Same idea. There's stables that are here and there, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the inn that was originally next to
I'm not talking about stabling.
Yeah,
I'm talking about tying.
Tying up. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
For a short. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
So
he's not going to be here for like the night. I hope. God.
So he says, "Did you want to go and grab a bite while we're having a conversation?"
Yeah, sure.
Just a drink for me, I think.
Nods. He says, I know a place right around the corner from here. And we'll head over to go and have a seat. Go and sit down with you guys. He'll be like, did you rest well last night?
Could I just, sorry, just brain, I just want to confirm the situation. Who's this talking? Because my brain, I was talking, I messaged Scott about something. I was a bit out of it for a second. I just want to make sure I'm back with things.
This is the gnome. This is the meeting.
Yeah, cool. Thought so. Just wanted to double check before I did something dumb.
Yeah. That's why I was half distracted too. Tesha's messages sitting on the other side.
Yeah, sorry.
So no, good. So we are so you guys are gonna go to like a place like right around the corner and have a seat. Neil, there's a place to tether your horse there too if you'd like.
Yes.
And so you'll go inside and the people inside there will know him, and he would say something nice and ask them how their father was. And
this is another place that the people know him.
Yeah. They'll ask him how and he'll ask them how their father was doing, and apparently their father's not doing very well, and then say the condolences to their maternal grandmother having passed recently. Like, I'm sorry I haven't had an opportunity to come by and speak to you about it. And like, no, I understand. It's like, yeah, of course. Okay. And you'll go over and sit down and at a table, and somebody will come over to drop like a menu off or whatever, and you guys can order your food. So he's like, so any new details that you're able to discover? I know you've been doing a lot of research lately.
Details on our friend at the inn. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, details about more or less all the stuff that you were researching, yeah?
I do. I had a bit of a breakthrough, actually.
Oh, wonderful.
It is wonderful. What about yourself? You were doing a research thing for the Arcane Congress?
Yes. As I said, I had passed in my paper. Thank goodness. Hopefully things can actually go through this time, as I bumped into you the other day. Hopefully things actually go through, and I can properly secure the... well, if this isn't enough to actually pass my thesis, then I secure the assets and whatnot needed to do that final leg. Anyways, I put it in for review to see if there's any additional research that needs to be done, or if this is independently meaty enough to accomplish the task. So the council will look it over, and they will get back to me. So keep your fingers crossed, if you will, to see if it passes the council's review. Unfortunately, as you know, the council moves rather slowly, at least by your terms. So I probably won't hear back from them for anywhere between a few weeks to a month, for them to have time to properly look into my research and have their underlings kind of tear it apart and whatnot. So, gnomes are a long-lived race, but we suffer anxiety the same as anyone else, and every passing minute is just as nauseating as the next person's. So, it'll be fun. It'll be fun times. But on the bright side is, with my research properly passed in, I'm going to take several days to relax, not focus on it any longer, get some of the side tasks that I want to done before I then start trying to see if there's any thing I may have missed or any addendums that I can apply to it before they really start tearing it apart. That gives me a couple days to relax, and I'd be more than happy to spend time with you lot if you're so inclined.
Yeah,
Have
actually,
you,
that sounds.
Go ahead.
No, you, Tristan. I was going to say that sounds good.
Well, vivisectomy is something that I took a couple of courses on over my years of training with the Congress, but I mean, you clearly know your stuff, right? I mean, I watched you go to work on those on the unfortunately Commander Rylor and the other and what have you, and you're quite skilled. So
He saved my life more than once.
I believe you. Vivisectomy is not even a science meant for the living, but you are skilled. So that being said, I wouldn't
Sorry,
mind.
did you
spending
just
some
say
time.
vivisection is not a science for the living? I think you'll find that the Latin root vivi quite clearly dictates that it needs someone to be alive. This Tris doesn't really say.
Bro, the entire room just stopped to stare at Tris. Like, I'm sorry, what?
That actually makes sense that Trish should say something like that. Well, not the Latin bit, but yeah.
What Tris would say, however, is say, have you heard anything about the docks?
Yeah,
I hear the situation's pretty grim.
it is. It is unfortunate what's going on down there. What do you know of the dock so far?
I heard several dozen soldiers have been killed.
Well, unfortunately, as far as I can understand, the soldiers are dying because they are aggressively approaching a situation that they don't understand. Listen, there's a need for nations to have their militaries, to have their armies, and there's a need to raise your sword from time to time. But why point a blade when instead you can share a conversation? Unfortunately, without the correct command structure in line right now, because of how things have kind of fallen to chaos as of late, those that are lesser and in charge along the dock area seem to be rushing to handle things with violence, and it has not worked in their favor. And so more families have to bury their dead.
Is rather unfortunate. I wonder if these are any like you had to deal with before, Tris.
Apparently they're not, if they can hold a conversation.
You said that you were in a Adir before. I'm pretty sure you told him that. If
I'm
he
not
didn't, then I wouldn't
sure.
bring
I'm
it
not sure Tris did, but Tris would, like, if he gave a questioning look to that, Tris would say, "I was stationed in Adir."
Yeah, I heard about what had transpired over in Adir. Dead clawing themselves up from the ground. These are it's concerning, but I don't believe that the two are connected.
Well, connected or not, they're both undead.
That means that they are instantly the same thing.
It means that you'd have to be stupid to not draw a connection between the two. You and I, we're very different. But it doesn't take a fool to look at us and say there's some similarities. 2 eyes, a nose, 2 hands, 2 feet. We're both alive. We're both people.
Can dead not be people?
Sure. But I think you'll find they're a lot more similar to other dead people than alive people.
Perhaps. Perhaps.
Viggo's going to get something out of his backpack, and it's going to be a piece of the nervous system of the Lopa.
Yep.
Scott,
he's
I
just-
just want to look at the room. Is there anywhere that is like? I just want to know the layout in case things go wrong. I don't plan on doing anything now, but is there like a doorway or a room that I could run off to and change?
Superman style? Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is going to be like an old school tavern, if you will. So more or less you walk into a big open room, like barn style, like open room, right? Like a nice beam running across the ceiling or whatever. There's going to be a bar that's over there where people can go up and get their drinks, and it doesn't matter that it's noon. People are definitely already drinking. And there's going to be like a door that goes into the kitchen, another door that'll come out of the kitchen for like, one-way use. There's stairs that go upstairs. And you know that there's, what is it going to say? Behind the bar, because you've seen people kind of like go back there, lift something up and go down. There's a small basement area that you can get to from behind the bar. Like in the foundation area you can kind of get to from behind the bar. So there's kitchens, there's upstairs,
like
and then there's a front door.
Bathroom, lavatory.
So that would be like if you go outside the front door, go around
Okay,
back, there'll
yeah.
be like an outhouse there. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what I expected. Cool.
Yep.
There's a bar, dude. Just walk behind the bar and do the old walking down into the basement trick.
Now I was just trying to think of the options which is less likely to have me run into someone in the room, because that's the worst case scenario.
So there are definitely options for you. I would say for you to get out the front door all the way around, because your speed is what? 40?
My speed is 30 when I don't have my armor on, and when I have my armor on it's 40.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with a speed of 30, and this is again assuming you're moving at battle speed, which is like rushing, right? It would take you say 1 turn plus a move action to get into the outhouse. Then you would have your standard action or what have you inside there, right? And that's assuming you're going out the front door and all the way around. So
Yeah. So
right.
that's not the ideal situation.
I mean,
But if I can be ready and out there when shit hits the fan.
Yeah, in the outhouse. But you could also, sir, you could also just excuse yourself if you see things kind of getting weird, and pre-plan your way for that. Right?
That's what I meant. Yeah.
And with your crystal left behind at the table, you don't have to even remain ignorant of what's happening. So you're good.
What's cool is I just need a free action to absorb Virgil back into the armor, because it's a free action to drop the armor I learned.
Correct. Yep.
So any of the armors, I thought it was only a free action for Astral, but apparently all of the armors can be dropped. The only difference is putting them on.
Yes. All right, cool. So so you look around, and again, and just to be clear, because it's around lunchtime, the place is actually like more than half full. There's a good number of people inside here. So anyways, continue with the conversation. He says, you pull out the piece of the nervous system. Go ahead, Jake.
Oh, and I say to him, I'm going to look around, obviously, because I don't want people to see what I'm doing, kind of thing. And I'll take it out and I'll kind of put it on the table. And it's probably in some type of glass vial or something, right? And I'll say, you would not believe what I learned from this.
Nods and says, please enlighten me.
I have the complete nervous system of that creature.
How, in the name of
I'm
all
good.
things known,
I'm good at what I do. Okay, but that's not.
no, my
impressive part.
my question is like you say you're good at what you do, but how do you keep the nervous system? How do you keep these little tendrils? He'd say that as opposed to the nervous system. How do you keep these little tendrils stiff enough that you could pull them out without them snapping or ripping? It's incredibly thin. This is like spider silk.
I'll show you. Let's just say. Look, I'm going to put it to you plainly. There's something about this. That body. It was dead, right?
Yep.
He says that to the gnome.
Yep. Yeah.
And then he looks at him again and he says, or was it?
Raises out a big bushy eyebrow.
Let's just say these were still firing.
I don't know what you mean by that. Because again, that's like modern science, and a regular wizard's not going to know that kind of stuff.
Right. This was drawing energy from the body.
Is it like a parasite?
Well,
like I know what this is. This connects to the spine. I've seen it before. Again, I'm familiar with that. This is the thing that when you stab someone, they feel it because of these. I understand this. I just don't understand the finites of it. But you're saying is it like a parasite that lives inside of it?
That's what maybe I was hoping you could help me with. You see, I am unable to detect the presence of magic. And unfortunately, as much as I can do on my own, there may be somewhat of a joint venture required. Split credit. Split.
You want to co-author a research with me?
Well, like I said, I do require someone with a certain set of skills that I do not have.
Go on.
So, like I was saying, these seem to draw the energy from the body, keeping themselves alive whilst the body decays at a rapid rate. I'm wondering if this is magic or this is an innate ability of the creature itself.
I'm curious of that myself. You say creature though, so what do you think that this is if it's not a person?
In all intents and purposes, they are the same as a regular parent, which they are, right, Scott?
Yeah, as far as you can tell, yeah.
Yeah, anatomy-wise, right?
I mean, yes. I mean, no, but yes. They're really similar with some changes. You know what I mean? Like
Any
clearly,
changes that I need to mention?
I mean, some stuff you just wouldn't understand yet because you haven't had enough time to do enough research and da-da-da-da-da.
Okay, yeah.
But definitely a hyper-developed nervous system compared to a typical one because of like the abilities that they have. And definitely you know about the change of like bone structure and muscle structure and stuff like that because you've seen the physical differences. But anyways, continue.
For the most part, it's the same as a regular parent. However, as we've seen with the outward appearance, a parent of accelerated age, extremely accelerated age, but they're youthful. So going from the exterior inside, then their bone structure is a bit different. And this nervous system trying to cling to survival whilst it drains the body and decays it. I wonder whether this could come back to life somehow, and that's what it's trying to cling on for something to happen, or if it is a parasite and it wants to somehow, I don't know, attach or infect something else. Is it magical? Is it mundane?
Again, it seems parasitic to me, just on the nose of it, but this is beyond my focus of study, so I don't study that kind of biology. I'd be genuinely curious. Well, I am also curious about this creature. And funny enough, I actually was speaking with somebody else, an acquaintance of mine that I have, that about the body and what I had seen and what have you, when that gorgeous shirtless man appeared and dropped it at our feet. And they actually said that they had seen something like this beforehand.
They have.
Yes.
Galen would sit up and just sort of. It's not that he wasn't paying attention, but he was focused on other details of the room and everything that was happening, but he would be tuning in now.
What did he say?
Well, apparently he had encountered a corpse of one of these before, some time ago. Actually, funny enough, he says, pointing at Tristan, he said he encountered one in Adir. I fortunately was able to convince him to let me take a copy of the research that he did. Perhaps you would like to look over some of those notes. Hold on. Perhaps you'd like to take a look over some of those notes and see how they compare to yours.
Long way to travel from Adir. Not many people go there.
I mean, long way to travel from Adir, certainly, but even longer still. For some, for instance, I'm born and raised in Eustace. That's the opposite coast.
Yeah, but that's standard.
I don't understand.
Lots of gnomes travel outside of Eustace.
Oh,
In
lots of people
fact-
travel outside of their homelands. What's the word for it? Excoriate?
Yes,
Or
but
exile?
not many people. Not many people travel to Adir, at least by choice.
Adir is a central location. It's a place that many people will travel through as opposed to. And I think that happens to be more the situation here. Anyway, he had said that he had met with some lowly kings down that way, and that they happened to have a body like this stuffed inside of the morgue in their basement, and was friendly enough with them that they allowed him to examine this body.
Well, I'd love to look at the notes. A first-hand account could corroborate a lot of information, especially that we've gained ourselves.
He nods, says, "Certainly, I'd be happy to share anything that I have so we can have a deeper understanding." Oh, here's the food. Goodness, it's getting hungry. And the food's kind of placed around the table.
I mean, I'll make small talk. I'll have a drink, but I'm not exactly hungry. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything you guys want to talk about in particular.
Not really. Galen was like, his curiosity was piqued, but he's given the situation. I don't think he's going to say much.
Chris?
I mean, Triss is intrigued in the whole situation, but I'm not sure there's anything specific to ask on it.
Let's talk about body.
If nothing's really been said, then Viggo will say, right, well, we do have a visit to... We have to stop at the seamstress's place on the way, but shouldn't take more than a minute. You ready?
He nods and says, I do have my home is not too far from here. If you'd like to swing by and visit my home, I'd be more than happy to show it to you.
Notes there.
He shakes his head and says, in fact, no, they are not. They're at my research facility that I have. So
Makes sense.
I will swing by there, collect my notes, and you can join me at my home. Do I mind if I just provide for you the address?
Sure.
And he'll provide the address to his home for you, written down, and say, after you guys are done or whatever, he'll pick up the tab to be nice. You can see he leaves a very generous tip because it's based on America.
Yeah.
And parallel tipping's a thing because people are underpaid. And they will, he'll part ways with you and say, shall we say meet in about an hour?
Sure. We're outside at this point, I assume. We got up to leave together.
What was that? I'm sorry?
So we got up to leave together, so I assumed that we're walking out.
Yep.
Yeah, all right. So I'm just gonna keep, next to him, talking to him. Obviously, as Tristan and Gallon, Tris gets his horse or whatever, and Gallon is with us or not. And then
you guys are gonna go separate ways, but obviously doing something first. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm gonna mow him down.
Yeah. So
non-lethally.
So when we get outside and we start to walking, I'm gonna get a map out.
Mm-hmm.
I get a map out and I'm saying, because I have one with me, and I say, more or less, I'm checking whereabouts it is. Seeing Tristan mounted, I look to him and I say,
I'm being serious that I've walked off to the bathroom, just so you know.
Yep.
As Trist is mounted, I look to him and I say, Resin of the Arcane Congress, you are under arrest for the being a leader of the Black Knights and practicing in necromancy. And obviously Tris will do his thing.
I will change in the bathroom into crystal armor.
You have to roll a deception. A bluff to keep cool during this entire time to not give tell of this. Obviously, Tristan will take a +5 because he is walking behind you and trying to stay out of sight. You have to roll normal, and Tesh actually gets to not roll because he's literally like, I gotta go to the bathroom, and literally walks
true.
around.
But also,
around the
like, I have the thing that makes it hard to tell my intent. So.
Oh, that's right.
Off the 18.
Pardon?
I'm a lucky.
Okay, and then where's my sense motive? Bum.
Well, I mean, if he's gone off to get on the horse.
Yeah, our backs are to Tristan, so it's.
This is why Tristan got the +5 is because he is because of exactly what we're discussing right now. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Trying to get that number from last time. Because you're doing. What's up?
Can I, if I can tell that his attention is sort of shifting towards Tristan, can I stub my foot or trip over or something, trip and stumble a bit to try and get his attention?
No,
if so, would
you went to the bathroom. That's why you're not even rolling.
I had to go around the corner though.
As he's walking
all the way around the back.
Yeah,
As
you're
he's
going around
walking
back.
off, the
So
poo
more or
just
less,
drops
them
down
two
his
are walking
trousers.
side by side. Tristan is walking behind them, then goes to do his own thing, and you legit leave to go to the bathroom. So
No, the way. So we walked out of the place.
Yeah,
Trist goes to his horse. I go around the side to the back.
yeah,
They're looking at a map.
yeah.
We've both gone away, so we'd be going away at the same time.
Well, I mean, but Tristan's not going to the back. Tristan's staying out front. I can't hear you. Cut out.
Oh,
You're back now.
can you hear me now? Yeah, he still has to untie and get on the horse. I'm only going around. I'm not taking too much time. I'm going and putting on my crystal suit. And
So 4 people. 2 walk out side by side. 2 walk out side by side. One of them leaves. Turns a corner at the outhouse. Step
that
in,
many
transform.
corners. Okay.
Yeah, because you're
I
going around
guess
back, right?
Well, I assumed round.
Or at
and
least
then you're there.
so 1 corner, 2 corners to be around back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're like removed from the scenario to be able to
never mind
transfer.
then.
Yeah. So all right. So I'm gonna roll my sense motive. Tristan's the only one that I'm really trying to beat in this scenario. So hold on one second. My So we have. Here we go. Oh, no, that's wrong. That's a wrong modifier. As an extra
I was gonna
one in there.
say, holy
Extra-
shit,
that's
dude,
extra
a
one in there.
45
Extra one in there.
Modifier.
Extra one in there. That's unnecessary. Ooh,
We match.
PC.
We match.
I agree.
It's a 13 and a 13.
You do match.
Oh.
Oh.
So, walks around the corner, and of course, Jake is able to hold a perfectly smooth face. Like he's able to hold a perfectly straight face in the scenario, and I should say Viggo does, but Tristan is kind of like very much has his body language shifts, everything about him shifts, getting kind of like prepared for this. So obviously, I mean, the gnome is becoming aware of the fact that the tone has shifted since you guys have stepped outside. Now, whether or not you notice Jake, him noticing, so Neil, you're not going to roll this one. This will be Jake. Jake, do you mind rolling your sense motive to his bluff? Let's try to get my modifier again.
Fuck.
Oh.
These would be the ones we roll.
It goes to the PC.
He does not have a huge modifier of this. So
Oh.
Yes.
So taking this back a step, you guys walk out there, so on and so forth. He's his shifts. He kind of is like, you're having light talk conversation. He looks over at Triss, then looks back at you. Then he looks over at Triss again. You can see like his eyes are watching Triss for like an extra second, and you almost see like a moment of like recognition in his face as he realizes things have just changed. And so he goes to look back at you, and you can clearly tell, even though he's trying to hold a straight face, you can clearly tell that he realizes something is off
Arms
here.
are heavy.
So we're going to give you a chance to change how you were trying to narrate this playing out. So like I said, before Triss is fully getting his horse prepared and what have you, he kind of like, again, makes eye contact with you. What would you like to say or do in this moment, if anything?
Is it? Oh, I can't say anything. I was gonna.
Right. Well,
You'll be back in a moment, but not
It's all right,
at this
no.
moment. Yeah,
I had an idea of how we could just distract him, but I can't. I'm not there. I can't give it to him.
you're fine. Go ahead, sir.
Viggo sees this. He has the map in front of him. Seeing this, like him almost coming to the slow realization, Viggo looks at the map and he like hits the map with his finger and he goes, "I found it! It was right there!" And he's pointing at the map, putting the map more or less in his face, jamming it. He goes, "That's where it attacked!"
He's gonna take.
I just need to buy it slight time.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all I need to do.
He's gonna take several steps back, and he's gonna take several steps back as he's doing so. So as you're like trying to do this, he's taking several steps back. He's clearly not buying your little ruse at this point in time, and says, "Spread formation." Looks around and says, "What are we going at here?"
Well, Tristan's on his horse, right? So I say,
Trish, you hear him say that. Make me a ride check DC 20 to be on your horse instantly.
Roll the 3.
You have a 25% chance, Bubby.
Do it. You got this. I believe. Yeah.
He is on his horse indeed.
Okay. Oh.
Okay. So what do you say
Then
is
we
Triss is
go-
on his horse? Yeah.
I don't know. At this point, the
If we're gonna take any
Viggo's-
actions, it's gonna be initiative. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Just a note, I realized I never applied my healing from last night or like the night before. I assume I'd be basically. I'm at 40. I was at 42 before that. I'd be at full health by now, right?
I mean, I imagine so because Jake could have given you healing potions in the meanwhile.
I just realized I literally never healed up, and I should probably do that.
Yeah, because you heal your level each night. So.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Just back to things.
So anyways, if you're going to take any actions as opposed to words at this point, any of you, we're going to be rolling initiative. As for initiative, Tesh, we can assume that you're already in the outhouse. We can assume that you've already put on the armor that you want to. If your speed is 40 feet, then a double move will get you literally back up to them. A single move will get them within view because you could just take a wide turn around the corners to get them within view. A double move will get you back up to them.
If I
no
get-
longer
if I
two,
get
no longer 1.5
Within
turns, I'm sorry.
view, is that within like 30 feet?
I'm sorry.
Within view, is within 30 feet.
Oh, within view would be within 40 feet of them. Yeah, because before I was saying a whole turn plus a move, but this time I'm saying a double move is enough, so 80 feet away.
Okay.
Unless you have a way to
If
increase your
I
speed beyond
have-
40 feet.
I do.
If
much so.
speed was important to you, you can do whatever you'd like to have done in your, I imagine, your swift action summoning of armor.
Yeah. So
And you could
I
assume
can
your crystal is on you, Tesh, because you would have taken him with you. When you
I
left
would have
the barn.
taken him with me
Yes.
because I was getting ready. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, what I'm gonna do is,
And I'll let you guys think while he's doing this.
yeah, I am gonna grab 2 extra speed. So do my swift, my this guy. Where is it? Trailblazer. Rapid augmentation. That's the one. Rapid adjustment. I'm gonna grab 2 extra speed, so that puts me at 50.
Could you have done that when you initially summons the armor, or no?
It's a so. Would I be able to do it as I guess so? It's a swift action, and no, astral suit is swift action to summon. So how does that work?
So the way that this would work is you would have already walked into the outhouse and put on your armor. And then literally on your turn, if and when we roll initiative, the first thing you're going to do is swift action, do that,
Swift
and then
action,
you'll have your enhanced speed. Yep. Cool.
Yeah, cool.
Cool.
Then yeah, I will do that.
right.
And that will bring me up to 50.
Which means that you'd be able to get within a single move, you'd be able to get within 30 feet of them.
Perfect.
Okay, cool. Let's go back to you guys. Are you guys saying words or are you taking actions? If you're taking actions, we're rolling initiative. If you're saying words, we can chat for a second.
I think I'm taking an action, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'll probably be the only one that says anything.
All right. Well, you could say your words first, and then, like I said, we'll roll initiative when the time matters.
Right. Well, no, he actually looks at Resin with his demeanor changes, and he says, "Why, Resin? You were my friend. You were to change
You were
my
supposed to
outlook
bring
on the
balance
AC.
to the force.
I'm not gonna lie,
the
I tried to
AC.
look up the monologue so I could say that then, the whole line, but I couldn't find it in time.
You're supposed to bring balance to the AC.
That's
Give it up, Resin. I have the high ground.
Oh, don't
He just appears on top of a building.
please don't make me laugh. It's not good for me.
But we will
Anyways,
say, he'll make that statement he said before. Resin of the Arcane Congress, you are under last. Yeah.
so do you
Just
make that
scream,
reference
"Stop
of why,
resisting."
or do you just straight up Resident of the Arcane Congress?
He probably says why first.
He looks at you and says, I don't think you understand. You don't understand at all what is going on here. Now, it looks like you are about to, and he looks over at Neil's character, who I imagine is literally, I'll say like 2 more words, and he's going to kya, right? He's like, looks like you're about to take action. As I imagine Neil's like rushing in, because we can't just talk
And
infinitely.
that's initiative.
And so we'll do initiative
We
here.
will roll initiative. Come on, Neil, please.
You know what? That's
Oh,
I'm gonna do natural ones, or otherwise I'd be really fucked.
We do on initiative.
We do?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Well, good luck, guys. Fight's gonna be decided by the time I get there, I think.
Not necessarily.
You fuckers. You fuckers.
2 of you rolled ones. I thought my roll was terrible, but okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. Okay.
Well,
Fuck. Well,
All
we're
right.
just gonna hope that Neil one-shots you.
All right. Okay. So Neil, and again, it's one of those things where he's trying to say words, he's trying to have conversations, he's trying to explain, but not that Tristan is like a bloodthirsty or anything like that. It's just he knows that when you're about to catch a criminal, they'll do anything they can to stop that from happening, right? So say anything, do anything, what have you.
He need word for spell. He say word right now. Word bad, therefore.
Okay, that too.
Right?
Your turn
You
is
can't
first.
pull it.
No, you're fine. But to be clear, Jake is not in between you and him, right? He realized. No, sorry, hold on. Jake. My apologies. Jake is behind. Sorry, you're behind Jake. That's how he's able to kind of like look over, see you, and look back at Jake, look over, see you, look back at Jake. But Jake is not like in between you two.
His thing at all.
Yeah. Jake is off to the side because Jake's not an idiot, right? So he clearly would have been off to the side for you. He is more than 10 feet away from you because you're not going to tether up a horse literally right at the front door of a place, because then if the horse shit, you're literally walking right by shit. So your horse would be like a good 10, 15 feet away, which is fine. It is your turn, sir.
Can I challenge then charge him? It's a swift
you have
action to
your
challenge.
full turn. So you free action hopped up on the horse as they were chatting.
Yep.
And that's technically you go first. Free action, hop up on your horse, and now it's your turn.
So I'll swift action challenge him.
Okay. He says, "I
then
deny your challenge."
Triss would like to go home. Like, fair play, man's denied his challenge. You can't beat that.
Then.
Don't you wish that was a good ability? Like deny challenge.
Triss will turn to the camera and be like, "Consent's important," and then go home.
Wow.
I love.
Unfortunately, in this instance, the man is a criminal.
Consent doesn't. Never mind. So I love.
Whoa.
One of my favorite comedians right now, Sam Morril. He has this joke about he's like, "Oh, consent's my favorite part." He's like, "Sometimes all I want is the consent." Where I'm like, "You want to?" And she's like, "Yeah." And then I just go home and rub one out. He's like, "Consent. It's the best part of the whole experience." My buddy will see me the next day. He'd be like, "You look pretty relaxed. You get some last night?" Be like, "I got the consent."
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
that is funny. In other news, I'm going to charge the man, but non-lethal damage, please. I believe that gives me a -4 modifier to hit. Is it or
ask one more time?
-4 to hit.
-4 to hit, but I think you get a +3 because you're mounted. No, it's +2 because you're mounted.
I'm getting plus a ton of shit, but
okay.
to do non-lethal damage is a -4 to hit, correct?
Si, senor. Yes.
Okay, let's minus that off. Okay. May I? So this is a mounted charge with power attack and challenge.
Yeah.
And also, it's got the bonus because he's smaller than me to hit.
The smaller people are harder to hit. So what are you talking about?
It's because I get a +1 to hit when I'm mounted because I have high ground.
Yeah. Oh, high ground, not high. No, I thought you were talking about size modifier.
No, sorry. Yes.
Yeah. I have the high ground.
So are you happy for me to roll to hit?
I'm sorry?
You happy for me to roll to hit?
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
He doesn't have any entry pokery?
Well, I haven't taken an action yet, so I don't have my reactions. I don't have my immediate actions yet. Until after the first round of initiative. Okay, that is a beautiful hit.
Can I roll damage?
You go right ahead.
This is non-lethal. To be very clear once again.
Yeah, you're good.
He's out. Do not give me this shit. He is knocked out cold.
I'm getting a random call from Rhode Island. Do you mind giving me 1 second?
Yeah. Scott, it's returning in Rhode Island. Yeah, PC, he's fucked. Get him out of there.
Like, sorry, stream's cancelled. We'll redo this combat next week.
It's your boy. I got tipped. They know.
Your damage, man, when you get a chance to do your thing is fucking terrifying.
I hope he doesn't have.
Sorry, that was in case it was a work thing, but it wasn't. It was them just telling me that I'm COVID positive, and I was like, oh, I saw the results on your portal yesterday morning, and she's like, oh, okay.
Wait, did you say that? Did you say that? Oh no, I checked your portal yesterday morning.
I said I already got the results yesterday morning.
Okay, thank God you didn't say portal. My God.
Well, they call it the patient portal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they're like, any questions? I'm like, no. This guy already knew I did it. I had an OTC before I took the PCR, but thank you. So, anyways, so you come riding forward and you do 70 points of non-lethal damage. 1 second.
Reducing it by how much? This is the question. This is where Scott's just going to troll me and be like, it seems you've done too much lethal damage. He's just palpitating me right now. He's preparing.
There's no way.
It seems in your anger, you killed him.
Okay. So you deliver a very telling blow. And against normal people, that would be more, especially one of his size, that'd be enough to knock them the fuck out. And I'm not going to say that your impact doesn't affect him. It absolutely does. But it's not quite as intense as you maybe would have expected it being, considering the size of the person and how hard you hit them. So that being said, go ahead and describe your actual attack for us for 1 second. I will wait.
Yeah, sorry, I took a bite at the exact.
How dare you?
So Triss is a hobo.
Mm-hmm.
Naturally, he's a half hobo, but he has improved initiative and combat intuition. So as part of initiative, he can draw a weapon. So there's this swift, fluid motion where, as you say, his entire demeanor changes as he gets towards Karok, and he mounts. And as he pulls himself up, he pulls out the lance, but he pulls it out backwards. So there's not going to be a point hitting the gnome.
Yep.
He then puts his heels, like there's a few seconds of conversation between them. He puts his heels into Karok, and Karok rears and then jumps forward, and the back of this lance just.
So with that sickening thud, it affects him, and you can again see him kind of tossed sideways. You can see he's very rattled from it, but it doesn't have that same impact that you had hoped it would. Jake, because you're right there witnessing the entire thing, you're welcome to make 2 checks. One, perception check, and if you pass, I'll tell you your second one. Okay, absolutely pass. Now, normally I would have you make a different roll, but I know that your best knowledge skill is knowledge nature, so you're welcome to roll that one. Okay. So one of the things you know is that you're dealing with somebody that you believe to be a necromancer. One of the things you know about undead creatures is things like non-lethal damage don't hurt undead creatures because it's non-lethal and undead aren't alive. The fact that this hit him as hard as it did and had a lesser effect makes you believe that. Remember how he said he understands the nervous system and it's your pain receptors and so on and so forth. Something kind of like synapses go off in your own head as you realize, oh shit, he might have partially deadened parts of his body. Like it just one of those, he did not react as intensely. Like his whole body should have just been like put in shock from the sheer amount of the sheer intensity of that blow, but it didn't affect him. You get this idea like, oh my God, that probably didn't hurt him as much as it would normally hurt a regular person.
That is correct, actually. He does have a partially deadened part of his body. It's his brain Because I just hit it with the power of an entire horse.
All right. So, anyways, that being said, he takes the hit. Neil, obviously, you ride past him, right? Oh no, do you ride past him or no?
So, as part of, I have ride by attack. So
Yeah,
yes.
I thought so. Okay. That way you can set up your next attack. So you charge forward, you hit him, and you kind of like pull up on the other side and wheel around to get ready for your next attack. Awesome. It's his turn, and he looks at you and says, perhaps we can speak soon, but clearly we won't right now. And he casts a spell. You can roll on our spellcraft check there, Jake.
Fucking no. It's just
Dimension Door.
I hate mages. Yeah, I fucking hate mages.
It's a fourth level spell that allows him to teleport 400 feet plus 40 feet per caster level. If he's able to cast fourth level spells, he's at least 7th level. So 4 times, so it's at least 760 feet he'll be able to teleport, I believe. That's how that math works out. I could be off. I don't know. 600, I don't know. Whatever. So cast Dimension Door. Jake, you don't currently have a weapon out, so you can't make an attack of opportunity against him. Neil rode past him to line up his next attack. There are no attacks of opportunity at the moment. He casts Dimension Door, and he teleports somewhere a range away from here. 680 feet?
Well,
I don't know.
yeah, well, back to the barracks.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
Okay.
He gave us the address of his house.
I mean, yeah, but he's not going to go back there.
No, but we're going to burn it down. That'll teach him to run. No, we're going to go check it out, I think. Is the best plan.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys, is that where you want? You're like back to the barracks, and Triss is like, and gestures to the parchment, like the pocket that you put the piece of paper in. I imagine Gallon comes running around the corner.
Yeah. No, I was just. Where is he?
Josh, casting a spell gives you an attack of opportunity. If one second, sorry, Tesh. If A, you don't cast defensively first, and B, somebody can provoke an attack of opportunity if you have a weapon in hands. Nobody was in range with a weapon in hands, so the answer to your question is yes, but not here. Sorry, back to you, Tesh, in game.
I just said where the fuck is he?
That's you, Jake and Neil. Not unless you have certain feats. Summon Snake.
We'll go to the house. You guys
In game, he said, "Where is he?" Like 8 times.
I can't. I am so triggered. I need a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am too. I'm going to get a drink.
Jake's getting his drink. There you go. If a wizard doesn't have control of the situation, they alter the situation so they have control. That's what being over 100 years old and having the world at your fingertips teaches you. You do not allow yourself to fall cucked to a single scenario. If there's a small misstep, you take steps back and correct it.
I mean, to be fair, though, if I just non-lethal damaged him, he'd be dead.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'd just like to say this, guys. Scott's teaching us. Don't show any mercy.
I mean, had you done that regular blow, you may have just straight up killed him.
Uh-huh. That's preferable. I guess we'll go check out his home.
Okay. So Jake has already said that that's the path he wants to go to. He's just personally taking a minute. So so you guys go and grab your it's one of those things. So I'll allow you to respond to him then, Neil. Chesh comes running around the corner and goes in his nice crystal voice, "Where is he?"
Don't know. Boy jumped out. Popped him pretty good though.
The first thing I would do is Galen would swift action switch to flight from speed and just up and try and see if I can see where he went. So I'd move my movement up and see if I can see where he is.
Absolutely. So you fly straight up, and you're going to go ahead and make me a perception check. Obviously, you're looking through a city and what have you, so there's a lot of avenues, but you are disgustingly good at perception check. Are you going to keep focused on that perception check, or... Like, sorry, are you going to luck that perception check to see if you can get any better or no?
Yep, I'm going to lock it.
Okay. With a 30 perception check, you're looking around throughout the... You're looking around throughout the street. Sorry, I COVID, so trying not to sneeze. You look at
That's where he's like.
You're looking around throughout the streets and whatnot, and you don't see anybody moving throughout the streets that fits the description. You don't see anything there. Da 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 da. None of that stuff jumps out at you. However, Tesh, can you go ahead and roll me a sense motive check, please?
Yes. Oh.
So this is what you notice. You don't see anybody throughout the streets, and you're just flying around, and you see them down there having a conversation. You can see that Viggo is low enough from you, and you're not focused on him to hear the words he's saying, but he's borderline throwing a temper tantrum, which is well outside of any emotional reaction that you've ever seen come from Viggo beyond when he drinks his mutative potion and just goes completely wolf shit on someone, right? So that being said... and you see Tristus be like, "It's okay, Commander. We got the blah, blah, blah. Or Centaurian. We got the address. We'll go there." So he's kind of the mean cooing down there. And you look around. You're also frustrated because you can't see anything, and you don't see him in any of the streets down below. But you see something through a window. Again, a good distance away from where you are. You see something through the window. You see somebody acting strangely. It's just one of those things that kind of catches your eye because you see like people just like acting strange through a window. Flying a little bit closer and getting a judge of the situation, you can see that there's literally a woman inside of her house with a child near to her, and they seem to be almost afraid of something that's happening inside the house that's there. Flying down a little bit lower and changing your angle slightly, you look over, you see him in that building that's over there. He teleported far away, but into a building. So maybe accidentally, because that's the way Dimension Door works. Yeah. Sometimes you can hit a wall or what have you. But he literally teleported over there and into the building, and it scared the shit out of some people that are over there. And you can see like he's just kind of like talking to them and like backing his way over towards a door. And you
how
notice
far
this.
away am I from them? From the building and from them.
So from them, they're probably about 100 feet beneath you. Right? No, not even 100 feet. Probably like because buildings aren't that tall. They're probably like 60 feet beneath you, and you're probably a good 500 and change. Maybe 550 or so from them, from him, and then maybe a little bit. Like you moved up and you like moved around a bit, right?
Oh,
so maybe like 30 feet over, or 60 feet down.
He's far enough away from me that way that if I yell at them, he's not going to like hear unless I'm really fucking loud. Right?
Yeah, you have to like really boom.
Yeah, so I am just gonna. This way, building. And I'll give as much description as I can for the building, and then shoot.
Yep. So he like as you guys like bickering down there, or you're being angry, and he's kind of like trying to.
I would
cool
say
you
like
down. He says
where it's on what build. I would also have a decent idea of the road because I deliberately tried to.
Yeah, you can name the street. Like you can literally say this way, that building on blah 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 street, and then just immediately fly in that direction.
Yeah, and then I would shoot off.
They need no checks; they would immediately hear you, like echoing down with your crystal voice. Look up, see that, and go. Neil, you're on a horse. Do you want to just kya?
I can pull him up.
Sure.
I'm good. You go.
You sure?
You extend an arm. He's like, go. And quaffs a potion.
Oh yes, I'm so glad I gave you that.
Let's go then.
So you guys start making your way over there as quickly as you can.
I'm Tristan running on the horse, and then just being.
So I'm gonna put my little earpiece in, and I'm gonna and there's gonna be Tesh overhead like. And he's be like, suspect has taken a left.
Tesh, what's your fly speed right now?
You just get missive coming in just this way. Okay, so it's 50 because I swift actioned other stuff out, so I kept the speed.
So your speed is
50.
So you can do a run. So you can double move the first round, which means you move 100 feet. And then the second round, you can quadruple move because you don't have the run feet. So that means you'll be able to move 200 feet the second round. So as I said, he's just over 500 feet away. So 3 rounds later, you have successfully moved as the crow flies 500 feet, really closing in on the gap. Now, down below, they have to deal with people, buildings, so on and so forth. They're going to move at a slower pace than you because of obstacles.
Also have to leave the building, right?
Huh?
He teleported in there, and then he still has to leave that building.
Yeah, he was doing a whole scenario. He was trying to like, calm down. I'm leaving. You know, yeah, I gotcha. So anyways, what speed are you moving at, Neil, so I can adequately set this up before I have Tesh roll a perception check?
Yeah.
So Carrick can move at 50 or 200 at run.
215? But you can't run.
50
yeah.
at base.
Yeah.
Or 200 at run.
You won't be able to run because, again, there's like carts and so it's a city, right? Like you have to imagine a city. You can't really charge a horse down a city street without a chance of harming others. Now, mind you, if you have any means of moving the horse in such a way, so like if you want to make have the horse make some pretty intense acrobatics checks and you make some ride checks, I will absolutely allow you to move at 3 times speed, just because you're going to be hitting some ankles. I'll be more than happy to if you want to make the horse's acrobatics and your ride checks. I have no problem with that, and then we'll get to Jake in a second.
Yeah, I'll push for a ride check. So I need
you do your ride
acrobatics
first.
and a ride. Okay, let's see. Ride.
The run feat helps with all flying. I'm almost positive. Let me look at the run feat. It should be all movement, not just land speed.
Oh,
so when you are
is he
running,
talking
you move
about,
5
like-
times your normal speed or 4 times the speed if you're wearing. You can did it. It says when running, and running is specifically a mechanic that means you spend your entire turn denying yourself dexterity to AC to da-da-da-da. So it doesn't. Flying creatures can run too. What's up?
So what I was a keynote that I want to do when I get close is I want to swift when I get close enough that I'm worried about alerting him. I want to swift the 2 speed into Chameleon.
Okay, we'll get back to you in 1 second because you're way ahead of them. So
Okay.
with that ride, can you go ahead and roll the horse's acrobatics check?
Jesus Christ, that was close to being a 1.
Yeah, it was very close to being a 1. So Carrick
like
is
that.
moving. Carrick is moving very gracefully so far, doing an incredible job. Can you go ahead and roll me 1 more acrobatics check? I'm only having you do 2 to cover up the time.
And that was a 2. Great.
Did you want to modify this in any way? Do you have any abilities you have to modify this?
I probably don't have any abilities to modify it, I would have thought.
While he's thinking, Jake, what is your speed now?
60.
60. So double move is 100 feet for you. Similarly, are you going to try to run at 3 times speed and use acrobatics checks, or are you going to just double move consistently for the next few rounds and just take that with no checks or no chance of failure?
Yeah, I mean that's a good question, isn't it?
So what you guys are doing right now, because I'm going to jump back to Tesh after only 3 rounds of movement. His 4th round, he's going to get to play out. You guys are doing 4 rounds of movement because you can't move as easily as he does, right?
Yep.
So he's going to get a full round while you guys are finishing what it is that you're playing out right now. So if you're just accepting your auto success, Jake, 4 times
Can I
120
ask
is-
one
there-
question?
Oh, sorry, go on.
I have one question. Would the spell Death Watch be able to? Could I piece together? Will I be able to see him as different?
That's actually a really good question. With that kind of like boom, Oh my God, there's something that might work. You don't know for a fact. You have to try it, but that might work. And that's an innate ability of yours that you could activate that. I'm pretty sure with your class.
It does come
so-
with my class.
Is it only 1 round before they show up?
So hold on. 3 rounds of movement moves you 500 feet, Tesh. So your fourth round, I'm going to have you play out. They're doing 4 rounds of movement, which for Jake, if he doesn't make any checks, is 480 feet. So they're already going to be behind you, which is your 4th round you get to spend searching for him again.
Okay, yes. That,
including switching over to
difference
Chameleon and so on and so forth.
Yeah. The difference was basically whether I'm going to go full stealth, like wait for them, or whether I stealth, find him and engage, sort of thing.
Yep, and you're going to get to choose that in 2 seconds. I'm just trying to see where they are relative to you prior. So,
cool.
Jake, are you going to take the auto 450, or do you want to? Sorry, 480, or you want to make a check to try to increase it?
If it's an acrobatics check, I can't make it, so no.
Okay, then you just take the 480, which is solid. So that means you're 20 feet behind where he was overhead, just kind of like dodging and weaving and whatnot. Technically a little bit further than that, but that's fine. Because again, you have to deal with buildings and people, but you as being an individual, not a horse, you can move much more freely than the horse can. Luckily with the horse, people jump out of the way, and it happens to be a very acrobatic horse. Neil, back to you. Your base speed is, 50 again, correct?
Yep.
3 times 50 times 4 is 150 times 4 is 4. You're way up there. Times 4 because of the how many rounds. Did you want to make that last acrobatics check to make sure there's no chance of failure and falling behind or anything like that?
I thought I made 2.
Did you want to modify that second?
I can't. I mean, other than Daddy's dice, I can't.
Did you want to luck it to see if you can, just in case the 15 is not high enough?
How many dice do we have? There's only 1 left. No, I don't think I should. I think a 15 should be high enough to just navigate streets.
Okay. So, Tesh, to get to your turn, so again, you're technically a little bit faster than them, right? So you go, you point, you say your words, and you immediately take off in that direction. Now, while you don't want to break eye contact for where you see him, he's not like always within your line of sight because again, there's buildings and as you're getting closer, the angle that you can see through the window is going to change and you're not necessarily going to get lower because that makes you more visible and blah, 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 right? So that being said, you occasionally will look back and see them coming. You see Carrick is charging through the streets and pretty deftly moving around some individuals that are there, though you do see a bit of a problem kind of rising up as he goes ahead because there's going to be a T-split in the road and Carrick's going to have a hard time hitting around that corner because there happens to be a cabbage cart that is to the direction where he wants to be. Hopefully he clears that cart, no problem. But in the meanwhile, you see him going there, and then it takes an extra moment because he's so much smaller to look at Viggo. But Viggo is once again having quaffed a potion. You're smiling to yourself, glad that you gave it to him. Moving very rapidly through the streets, kind of catching people's attention as there's the horse going there, and Viggo somewhat running slightly behind, but alongside the horse, and sometimes cutting down and going down in the alleyway instead. Being incredibly intelligent, he can kind of take other avenues and kind of like see that the outcome is going to be there before he gets there, right? Yay. So you guys are you see that they're making their way, and you're like, okay, they heard me, they're coming. If they don't know exactly where the location I said was, they can at least look up and see me for now. You've gone your 500 feet and you do like your Superman kind of like stop, right? And then you're looking at the building, and now you have to come to your decision. The building is only about 50 feet or so ahead of you. You don't know which doorway they're going to go out of the building. You don't know anything like that. The building's only about 50 feet ahead of you. A single move will put you directly over the building, right? Or at least over the lip of the building. What do you want to do at this point? Do you want to give yourself chameleon? Do you want to get closer? Like, how do you want to approach this to start looking?
I'm going to swift action my 2 speed into chameleon because I can always swift action it back again if I need to. So that'll bring me. Well, let me change my stuff. That'll bring me up to 17 stealth, and so it would be an action. So I want to try and find him basically. But if I take an action as well, will that make it harder? Like movement and action would only. If I'm wanting to look for him, would taking an action like, say, activating one of my power stones inhibit that?
Unfortunately, yes. Activating a power stone is an action, correct? It's not a swift action.
Yes.
Yes, that's going to take away your ability to search. Because I assume you're moving your move action to get closer. You're using a swift action to activate an ability.
Yeah,
then you can use your
I'm
action
just
to
gonna
either search or... Okay, cool. So, correct me if I'm wrong. Swift action to switch an ability, then move action to get closer?
Can I... I'm obviously wanting to do this stealthily, which is why I switched to Chameleon. Is
Correct.
that just a check on top of this, or...?
So as you're moving closer, you can move at half speed to do so in a stealthy way. So instead of moving 50 feet closer, you move 25 feet closer. And you more or less would drop down and try to stay close to the buildings. This would inhibit your ability to see the other side of the building.
20 feet closer because I've switched to Chameleon.
Understood. But that's fine because that means you'd be checking out this, say, third of the building, right? Because you can kind of come at it at a good approach. But then next turn you can move to get better angles to see the other areas and whatnot as well. Cool.
I would also deliberately want to check. I want to search the side that I saw him at first. Then the next one, I want to search the opposite side.
Of course.
Just so like covering if he goes straight out the other side, which is the hardest situation for them on the ground.
Of course.
Whereas if he goes out one of the other sides, that's less hard for the them on the ground. But so if I miss him because he goes out the sides, that's different than if I miss him going out the back.
Cool. So you, sir, are able to make your perception check. Stealth check, and then perception check right here. And then after you do this, I describe it to you. I'll describe what happened at the tail end of their checks, of what those two did. Ooh, that's a beautiful stealth.
I'm happy with that. And that was almost an 18. I'm gonna luck it.
Okay.
I need to find him.
Yeah, they don't mind using luck for this.
18. Hopefully that's enough. Hopefully he thinks he got away. Is the hope.
So you're approaching this building from the side angle, right? So you're able to see, like I said, it's about a third of the building because like the angles and whatnot that you're at, and the fact that you had to get lower to be amongst the other buildings that are here. That being said, you're able to see like a solid third of the building, including where the front door is, and you don't see him outside the front door or among the people that are outside the front door. Nobody seems to be reacting strangely or like that. You don't see him along the side that you have over here either, which doesn't happen to have a door in it. You think that either A, he's going to come out the front door, and just hasn't yet, or did so long ago that he was able to get away, which you find highly unlikely because you flew here pretty quick and he seemed to be dealing with a scenario inside. Or B, he's going to try to slip out the back door, which is less obvious, and you just don't have that angle yet. That being said, so this is where you are now, and we'll get back to your turn in a second. Jake, like I said, made incredible progress. As far as you last time you saw him, which you can't see him anymore, and you can still hear us, right?
Yes, I can still hear.
Perfect. So as far as you can tell where Viggo is, last you saw him, again, you're lower, so you can't really make eye contact anymore. He's probably within 10 seconds or so of getting to that front door. He's much closer. And you're crossing your fingers and hoping that everything's going to be okay with Triss making his way here. And Carrick is very athletic, acrobatic, and what have you. He goes. Triss realizes last second he needs to make that right turn. Has Carrick do that, like kind of like prance to the left and hop to the right to make the corner. He does so, makes the corner, and oh shit, jump! And then Carrick jumps, and you hear my cabbages as he jumps over the cart, but like knocks it over, and it doesn't really slow down his progress too much, but unfortunately destroyed some poor man's cart behind him as he continues making his way over. Again, if you had to guess, he's within about 10 seconds or less from being there. So now we're to the next round where you guys are going to be approaching the building. The two of you need to make perception checks to see Gallon. Tress, don't even roll. You're not going to see.
They knew the building at least, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. Viggo might actually see me. Ooh.
Not worth looking. Not worth looking.
Not worth locking. No, it's 25% chance to see me, and it's not a big deal.
Can I take is this an action?
What do you mean?
Like this round right now, is this check, and is it an action? Is it
no, this is like a free as he's running to go and see where Gallon is currently. Gonna get that Vit C for me. All right, so You guys are rushing towards the building, blah, blah, blah. As you're making your way there, finishing up this round of movement, I imagine both your characters would converge at the building that you saw here. You have been given no other orders other than this building itself. So when you guys come breaking through, Jake, you come finally within view of the building itself at the end of this next turn. Your next turn on your...
that he was in the building.
Correct.
Yeah.
So the building's
And
within
like
view. Yeah, the building's within view. His next turn, his move action, would get him the ability to actually get up to the building itself. Like, so right now can see it. His next move action would get him there, and he would have a normal action. Same thing for you, Neil. Your movement gets you absolutely almost all the way to the building. Actually, you have a faster move than him? Yeah, you have a faster move than Jake. So we could actually say that your turn ends with you being adjacent to the building. Like, you can see the front door right there. So, Tesh, as we're opening up into your turn, you're looking around. You don't see him anywhere. But you do look down and you see Carrick slowing down as he approaches the front way. You now know that the front door is covered because
to the back.
Because Tristan is right there on top of Carrick. You don't know where your Lieutenant Centurion is at the moment, but you definitely know where. Is that nice to hear, Jake? But you now know where the
it is. It really is.
But you now know
waited a long time for this. Okay.
But you now know where that the front door is covered. Do you say something, Tesh?
No. That's good. I'm gonna go around to the back.
Whip around back. Cool. So I imagine once again you're gonna move at half speed with stealth.
Yes.
Okay. Roll your stealth and roll your perception.
That's less good for both.
All right.
Oh, we have 0 luck dice. Oh.
My rule for the rule of cool is, what does the people at the table think? That's all that matters. If the people at the table are anti-rule of cool, and mind you, this is a majority vote. So if you get outvoted and that's not worth it for you, you're more than welcome to leave the table. But if the people at the table vote no rule of cool, there's no rule of cool. If they vote for rule of cool, then we have to find boundaries of within reason, and we can stick with it. Yes, sir.
It's a visual search.
Yep.
Could Virgil help?
Oh, of course Virgil would be helping. Absolutely.
Perfect. Okay, cool. At least I can give myself, hopefully give myself a +2. Or who knows, maybe Virgil will roll insanely. There's Virgil's perception.
Ooh, +3. Okay.
Nice.
Give me one moment.
That's so perfect because he's starting to he's starting to become more aware in combat. That's part of what Virgil's transformation is. So this is actually perfect that he's helping.
You know what you should do? Just press lock in case for some reason we have a lock. It's
It's worth it. Yeah, you're right. It was worth it just in case.
Yeah.
I can't do much because my chest hurts. So anyways, so with your perception check of a 17, give for me 1 second, please. All right, hold on. As okay. Hopefully I roll very low. And if you're like, what the hell, Scott? Why is that number so big? I'll explain why shortly. Okay?
Oh, fuck.
He's gone invisible.
That's fine. I'm literally waiting for Scott to give me an action so I can drink my potion of invisibility.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
That's actually not as big as I was expecting. Okay.
yeah. Well,
Oof,
my modifier
that's what she said.
is not is not small for a wizard. That's a big modifier, and again, there's a reason for that. Anyways, now that was your turn. Was kind of whipping around the corner, looking at the back door. There's nobody in the by the back door. You don't see anybody in the alleyway or anything like that. You don't notice anything whatsoever. That being said, now that we're going to your character's turns, we have Neil, who's already at the corner of the front of the building. You're between the side that Tesh looked at beforehand and the fronts that Tesh looked at beforehand. So you don't know that Tesh already saw that stuff. It's your turn. You immediately drink a potion. Jake, on your turn, I imagine you cast the invisibility and then you jog up as your move action the rest of the way to get to the building. As for whether you get to the front or back way, your character's not an idiot. As you're coming out into the street, seeing which way to go, you'd look over. You'd see Carrick there. You wouldn't waste your time, go to the front way because Carrick's got it. You look over, see Carrick there, probably give him a bit of a nod, and then you would rush to the back way. And so you guys would both be at the same corner, the same half of the building, at opposite corners, one looking to the front door, one looking to the back door. Jake, that's more or less the end of your turn unless you have a swift action thing you can do. Neil, you still have your move action because you just drank a potion as a standard. And you can start moving to an opposite corner if you'd like to.
Does Death Watch come into play at all?
What was that?
So does Death Watch come into play at all?
Can you bloop Death Watch for me, please?
That could be clutch.
Is it like a detect spell or no? Okay. From where you stopped at the corner of the building, you do not notice anything with Death Watch. No.
All right.
Okay.
Just gotta start searching on the next turn.
So now that we're all caught up to the spot, I've given Tesh the first initiative the whole time just because he was the furthest ahead, so it made the most sense for catching up. But now we're all in the same moments. So, Neil, by the way, did you stay where you were so you and Jake's characters were could see one another but also see the front and back of the building, or did you move away?
Yeah, as long as we're covering the exits, I wouldn't move.
Perfect. Okay. So now we can kind of, you guys choose, if you could choose right now the order that you want to go in. I will allow, like, for instance, you might want Jake's character to go first because he can move ahead. Maybe you want Tesh's character to move first to continue getting eyes in the sky. What order do you guys want to act in right now?
I'd be happy with Tesh to go first again.
Remember, I got to get lucky and roll real high.
That's fine with me.
Can do it.
You feet.
But if one of you guys can, because you guys will have see invisibility.
Yeah, we
you
both
might actually be more likely to see.
Do you
it.
not have that potion?
No. I think
right.
I gave it to one of
you
you.
go.
I had one, but I think I gave it to one of you guys earlier.
Well, you go anyway. You're still eyes in the sky, so you should probably makes sense, I guess. You have the wider
remember,
field of
it's
view.
going to be, as far as I can tell, it's going to be one of us, him, the next two.
Yeah.
So.
I mean,
okay.
all this happens simultaneously, right? So
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter who.
Yeah,
goes first.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's synchronously asynchronous, right? Like, it's a whole.
Yeah. So okay, I'm gonna roll. If I'm going first, I'm gonna roll Virgil's perception first. Okay, I assume that's
It's a +2.
It's +2. I'll take it.
Yeah.
That's good enough for me.
Yeah, it makes sense that Virgil would be in this instance helping you, yeah.
Yep. And here we go. No one of the modifiers. The only thing that might modify this is tracks.
I mean, there are not really going to be tracks out in the city with, cobblestone or whatever. So
figured. Oh, look at that 19! It didn't roll. The dice just went
pop. Yeah. I think I hit one corner and said that's enough. Like,
yeah, I know. If it had rolled at all, it would have got that 19. Oh well.
I mean, technically, if he rolls garbage, you could still beat him.
Yeah.
All right.
It's definitely possible.
Who wants to go next?
Trying to think what else I would do this turn in terms of he would be searching that side of the building. Is there anything else I can do? Let me quickly check my additional stuff. I don't think I have any potions that would help, unfortunately. No. I gave away all my useful potions or used them. I don't know about Pathfinder. What sort of stuff can you do if you're not taking any like normal combat action?
Well,
Is there
for
anything I
instance,
can do to help
perception
myself in
was your action. You spent your 3 seconds searching, right?
Yeah. What I mean is like, sorry, not that. What can I do instead of movement if I'm not moving more?
Oh, you just literally Google Pathfinder move action. There's like a whole chart of things that you can do, but
God.
most of them aren't things that like ready a shield, pull out an item, put away
it's
an
not
item.
going to help here.
Yeah. So, I'm not even joking. I used to have a binder with an old paladin character. It was a 12th level dwarven paladin, and I color coded all my actions and spells and whatnot so that like I knew before it was my turn the most efficient way to use my turn with all my different free actions, swift actions, move actions, standard actions for it. Like I knew everything beforehand, so I was like super action efficient.
You're a nerd.
Oh yeah, so bad. But anyways,
Yeah, no, I there's nothing. I got nothing.
okay.
All right, I'll look next.
Okay, so you start walking down the alleyway. Make me a perception check, Jake.
And he's walking fast.
You're walking down the alleyway when, literally as you're walking by, just like, because the alleyway is not clean. It's not clear. There's nothing here, right? You have to imagine literally trash gets moved out to the alleyway before it later on will be relocated to somewhere else that it's handled and so on and so forth, right? So as you're walking through this back alleyway of this residential building that has multiple units or what have you inside of it, you're walking by and you certainly don't see anything invisible, but you had activated, excuse me. You would activate a Death Watch, and you notice, like, as you're walking, you notice this, like, pale aura that's nearby. It's a faint, pale aura. So you stop, and you look in the direction of where you see some trash. Now, mind you, he's a gnome. Gnomes are small, but the pile that you see there is by no means great enough to hold a gnome in size. That's not possible, right? It's literally just, like, a little bit of, like, old paper and what have you, and like what's the word I'm looking for here, like torn up canvas and cloths and whatnot that are there, and that's what you see, but you don't notice anybody, like you don't see anybody invisible. You just see like a pale white aura that gives you the suggestion, oh, I get the sense that something undead is there, but again, it's too small to house a gnome. Do you like move past it, like just keep searching, or?
I have a question. Does reduced person work on a gnome? I mean that would make them. Sorry. What's the one from Small?
I have to ask VSword a question. VSword, did you watch Friday Night or no? If you did not see Friday Night, then that might change your perspective. Just let me know if you watched Friday Night Session or no. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I mean
Interesting.
I'll yell out to Tristan and I'll investigate it. What else am I going to do?
So what do you yell
out? He just yells out, "There's something over here, Tris."
So you start moving towards to investigate it?
Yep.
Absolutely.
I
1
sure
second.
might hear this too.
Of course. You're literally flying overhead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So 1 second before you do anything else.
This is where Jake, the gnome, already knows about your Death Watch ability, and that's just an IED. It's like a little undead lizard.
It's a glyph of warning. Or
Yeah.
Come on. Sorry, roll 20 is lagging. Ba 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 ba. Okay. Oh God, this is probably a terrible decision, but it's impossible to know how quick your character is. So you start making your way towards like where it is that you see there. I imagine cautiously walking towards it, because again, it was your speed right now was 60. So you quickly moved up 30, and then you see this. So you slow down, you call out your thing, and you turn, and you take like a couple steps towards it, being more cautious, but having the speed to do so, no problem. And then all of a sudden, the ruffled like canvas and cottons or whatever that are there move out of the way as you see a tiny sized gnome, because he casts reduced person on himself, which is why he has such a huge modifier for stealth. And you see a tiny sized gnome will pop up and complete a spell for the prepared action that he had. And the spell that he completes,
God damn.
you're welcome to roll a spellcraft check.
Don't dimension door again. That's lame.
So that is high enough to identify. I'm almost positive. Just double check Pathfinder spellcraft. I'm pretty sure it's 15 plus spell level. Let me just confirm. Identify a spell being cast. Yep. Okay. It's Resilient Sphere. Go ahead and roll me a
Oh, motherfucker.
go ahead and roll me a reflex saving throw.
Otterluke's Resilience Sphere, eh?
He's putting him in a bubble. I know this spell. It's the Pokeball spell.
The problem is that you have a really high reflex save.
Hang on.
And there's no way that he would know that you have a really high reflex save. The question is, are you comfortable with your 18?
That is a good question, and I don't think we have any luck, but I'm sorry.
I was gonna say use it anyway, just in case.
Yeah.
I would love to laugh in your face. Unfortunately, the DC for a non-necromantic 4th level spell is an 18. It's literally, I have a sheet done. Like, I can't lie. Like, it's, the DC is an 18. So he literally throws a Pokeball at you. It's like, bloop. And it makes a like an 8-foot diameter sphere boop, right there. And you just kind of like jump to the side of it, like just in time as you like realize what's happening. You like just jump and skitter to the side just in time, and the sphere remains, but you're not inside of it. That was his prepared action. You already spent your move moving up here and your action searching, right? So like you only have a swift action left. I don't know if there's anything you could do with that, Jake. And then it's Neil's turn. He'll have to try to make his way over here.
I do. I go invisible.
Okay, so you turn, you cast invisibility. He says, Viggo, this does not have to be violent. We can discuss. I didn't take you for a bloodthirsty man.
If I can free action talk, obviously, because he knows where I just was.
Wait, how do you go invisible? If you already use your standard and your move.
I have it on my
Swift.
potion
Gotcha.
belt.
Cool.
Yeah.
My apologies. Just to address chat for a second to keep things pleasant and whatnot, let's just bring this conversation of rule of cool versus rules as written versus raw. Versus rye, which is rules as intended, to the very simple. You do at your table what makes the people at your table happy. And you allow other people to do at their table what makes the people at their table happy. There is no gatekeeping any direction for how people should play their game. For instance,
Every table's different.
I think rolling for stats breaks the game in a way that is unfun, and I do not like it. I've personally had very negative emotional responses for months of being emotionally distraught about rolled characters. And I've seen it happen for very long periods of time. I do not like that at my tables. However, if every person at my table voted for it, then I would be outvoted. You know what I mean? And that's how it goes. And so then I would have to choose either A, to engage in that gameplay, or B, to remove myself from the scenario. But the important thing is that the people at the table are having fun. No gatekeeping in any direction. That is how it goes. You do what's good for you, and I hope you enjoy the shit out of your game, and you let other people do what's best for them, right? So that is that. For instance, I have always allowed paladins to be lawful of any alignment, long before it was done in Pathfinder or anything else. Lawful good, lawful neutral, lawful evil, because there could totally be paladins of an evil alignment. They don't just have to be black guards or just be anti-paladins. I have allowed that back in the old days, back before 3.0 was even a thing. That being said, other people have always said that makes no sense. It's fucking bullshit. Paladins could only be lawful good. That's literally the definition of a paladin is. And I say, I don't like your idea of what a paladin is. I'm sorry. Beg to differ. So, and that's just how it goes. But so long as everybody has fun, that's all that matters. All right. Back to the actual game, because this is intense and fun. You turn invisible. He free action says, Viggo, this does not have to come to violence. I did not take you for a bloodthirsty man. You respond saying, and then Neil takes his action.
Yeah, I respond saying, surrender and maybe we can work something out. The undead at the docks, but that's too much. So I'll just take what I said.
So yeah, you say surrender and maybe we can work something out. So you say that, and Neil, you come rushing around the corner because again, I can't just keep talking. That's not fair. You use your move action because again, your speed is currently I think 50. So with a 50 speed, you're easily able to move 30 feet along the length of the building, turn, and then move 20 feet along the edge to more or less come up and stands more or less right behind where Jake is. You're welcome to. You can't.
How far is Jake?
So Jake moved 30 feet into the alleyway before, because like the length of the building.
Yeah.
Jake moved 30 feet into the alleyway, then turned and walked up to the person. So Jake's only about 10 feet ahead of you. So nothing extreme.
And I can only charge at the beginning of my movement, correct?
Yeah, you have to do a straight line unless you have feats or whatever to break that. Yeah. So the gnome is, if Jake's 10 feet ahead of you, the gnome's probably about 15 feet away. Because he's like just ahead of Jake, so he's like because of angles, he's like 10 feet from Jake, but Jake's 10 feet from you, but because of angles, he's only 15 feet from you. And you've just used your move. You still have your swift if you can do anything with that, and your action.
Mm-hmm. You mean I can see this little gnome there, right?
Yeah, you can see a tiny sized gnome. He's the size of Artie standing on his hind legs.
Just
think about that. You want to go get Artie?
She's adorable. Just would point the lance at him and say, "Come on now. If we wanted you dead, it'd have happened back then."
He says, and we could have had discussion back then, but you chose violence. I'm willing to talk now, but we talk before we walk. That's, again, unless you guys are falling out of combat. Tesh, you're still overhead, and you're still, as far as everyone's concerned, hidden. So you can or don't necessarily need to reveal yourself.
Yeah, because I would be coming around the side and hearing all this.
Oh, you were already overhead, over the alleyway. You witnessed everything. You saw all of it.
Very much so. I'm.
You saw him pop out and be like. You saw him be like. I
have the best idea. Okay, so I'm finally going to swap my harness stone.
What? Are you playing with suppositories right now?
I believe he's
first of all, fuck you.
Dropping a rock on the gnome's head.
I don't need to, because in the suit, they swap around in the suit.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So I'm gonna drop so currently I've had Chameleon in there for a long fucking time. I am now.
It's funny because Chameleon's still active. You don't need to remain, like, as long as Chameleon's already active, it doesn't. You can switch it.
I hadn't even
it still
used
remains
that
active.
stone yet. That was Chameleon from my armor.
Oh, that's right. You're so correct.
Yeah.
I am so sorry. Go ahead, Tesh.
That's okay. So I'm going to swap that for Inevitable Strike.
Okay. This is an action to do?
Yeah. No. Move action to swap to it. An action to use Inevitable Strike.
And you actually didn't move last turn. So we could just say that you did that switch last turn.
Yeah.
I'm
that's
fine
a
with
good point.
Because you were literally asking last turn, so I don't want to, right? So last turn you did that movement. You just didn't know that you had that in your action economy. So now it's your turn. You've already switched it. Go ahead, sir.
So I'm using so because I've got the stone, I can use it with a PowerPoint, and I'm going to use it in the way of the full action use, which gives me a +20 on my next attack, and I'm just going to be holding. Well, I'll do next turn. I'll hold the attack. But I'm doing that +20 to take aim, essentially.
Yep, makes sense. You're doing the standard action version, so you use that like the old spell True Strike. Yep. And are you doing anything with your swift or move action this turn?
No, I think. No, I think that's all I'm going to do for this turn. I'm going to get that ready to do something. I'm going to position myself. I can move a little bit. I'm going to move to sort of the direction that's away from Tristan. So Tristan's on one side, I'm on the other side, because he's in an alley, right?
Yep. You're doing a half speed, and you're going to make me a stealth check to do this.
Yep.
In which case, everybody gets an automatic perception check as he's shifting, so it's something that could call your eyes, but because you're distracted, everybody gets a -5 to their perception check to notice this. If you can't even make that roll, it's not even worth rolling.
What do you mean if I can't make it? F you, dude!
You were who I was talking to. So
Why do I have to roll for this?
I don't
with a -5. It's just to see Gallon, so you know where he is.
Yeah.
I have a +9 normally. I literally only with my -5. I have to roll 20. Oh, so close. It's not even worth looking for me to see you up there. Actually, you know what? I think I will. I have extra daddy's dice. So he will notice you, but that doesn't necessarily mean that any of you know that he notices you.
I guess that's I thought. I guess it's a DC, not like because it's don't on ties. It go to the PC.
No. When you said a DC, I rolled to beat it.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how it always goes to the opposed. Yeah. With those things, if it's like a counter strength check, then yes.
He might not even know my. Oh no, we probably have heard of my abilities by now.
He sees shifting colors in a humanoid form. That's all he sees. Like, or you have to imagine it's like playing Halo, and you see somebody with the invisibility.
Oh, he sees the predator jump from tree to tree, and I was like,
yes, that. There you go. All right, cool. So let's keep going. So he notices the movement, but again, it's nothing like he doesn't act or anything. So now we're all choosing to engage. So more or less, we're going to allow ourselves to fall out of initiative to have a conversation. If we choose to re-engage in combat, we will re-roll initiative to see where people sit, which, by the way, is heavily in your favor because I only have a +1 to my initiative. Actually, because I just reduced person to myself, I have a +2 to initiative because my dexterity is now a little higher. So it's very much in your favor, you 3 rolling versus my 1. So we're currently out of initiative. And we can engage in conversation. If aggressive actions are taken, we will re-roll. That being said, when he sees nobody actually acts, and Tesh, to be clear, I think that spell that you did that allows you a +20 on your next attack roll, I believe it lasts for a minute. Please confirm that for me. In the meanwhile,
yes.
He says, "Go on, Viggo."
Sorry, I was just checking something. He said he wanted to talk, right?
Yeah, but you're also. So, well, he says, "Go on, Viggo," but you could say, "Floor is yours." I'm bouncing it to you as a PC. You can bounce it back.
Okay, yeah, okay, I get you. He says, "Go on, Viggo." Viggo says, "Again, you are a leader, or the last leader of the Black Knights, and as you know, it was through us that the rest of the leadership fell. If a deal can be worked out, and a deal can, because there is something I want, this deal won't be made in a back alley where at any moment you can dimension door away again."
He says, "How do you think you discovered where the Black Knight's leadership was? The location of its camp? You think that information is something that's so easily acquired? Hidden for so long? For literally years? And then it just came tumbling to your feet?" He's about as tall as your knees at this point, so it's funny that he said it.
Yep. Oh, so you're saying you leaked the information. Who'd you leak it to?
Indeed, I did. I did not leak it to anybody in particular. I put it down many channels. I made sure that it was known where the camp was, and it happened to fall in your lap. It wasn't given specifically to you, as I didn't know you. Go ahead, Tesh.
It's not. It just says your next attack, but made before the end of your next turn.
Okay.
Next round. So
Okay.
I just have to keep.
Well, the problem is if conversation continues to go, then you would lose it. Right?
Right. Okay. So what I'm just gonna.
I attack because I don't want to waste it.
No. What I'm gonna do. So I've wasted 1 power point. That's fine. I'm fine with that. So what I'm going to do is this essentially hold an attack for if he tries to start casting a spell.
Absolutely, because I can
and
disrupt
then
the spell.
And also, if conversation starts moving in a direction where I think it's going to go to combat, I can start using turns to load PowerPoints.
Absolutely. Cool. Back to you, Jake. As I didn't know you at the time.
And how long before we acted on this information did you put that out there?
I want to say it was about 3 weeks or so. Truth be told, though, it wasn't top priority in my mind at the time.
I see. And why would you out the rest of your comrades to take leadership, or for a different reason?
Of course, deploy to be the only ruler left of the Black Knights. It was a dream I've always had. Of course, yes. But don't you think that there's something more grand than just running a bunch of thugs, brigands, terrorists? No, I don't want the Black Knights around any more than you do. Black Knights were an organization that had a horrible direction. They existed prior to my caring that they existed, and I took advantage of the fact that they're structured anonymously. In short, I rose in their ranks, used them to accomplish certain tasks that I needed, realized they were more danger than they were good, and then just eliminated them. Well, truth be told, I had them eliminated. And mind you, I had already made a deal to have them taken out in a different way. Unfortunately, you got involved, and in your getting involved, you caused massive raid, which inevitably cost the life of Battle Commander Rylor, which truly saddens me.
Correct?
He shakes his head. He shakes his head, but he says, yes, unfortunately, I participated, but not fully understanding that Rylor was there. And it saddens my heart deeply that a good man such as that had to die.
You think your sadness makes up for the fact that you murdered him?
He looks at you pointedly, as short as he is, way up on your horse, and being tall to begin with, and says, I did not murder Rylor. At least not directly.
Nice semantics. Probably don't know that word, but...
Interesting. Did what was I gonna say? Okay. What was I gonna say? Tell me about the alliance you have. The Black Knights, the Kingsguard, and who was the other one? I can't remember.
There's Black Knights, King Guards, Dice Lords, Jihuan Warriors, and Harbor Masters were the organizations.
Yeah, but we knew they were in an alliance with certain groups.
With
Kingsguard.
Kingsguard.
Harbor Masters and Kingsguard, yeah.
Yeah.
So he says, without giving away too much information that does not belong to you and is not rightly mine to give away either, the Kingsguard was working with me to dissolve the Black Knights. They're parasites to Malisal Harbor, and they were being dealt with. It is unfortunate Rylor got involved.
Unfortunate that Rylor got involved. You're a twice damned traitor. Not only are you betraying the Congress by working with these terrorists, you betrayed the terrorists you work for as well.
He shakes his head and says, I don't think you know what the definition of those words are. Apologize, Tristan, but this is perhaps over your head. Again, hilarious because he's looking up like this.
You're on Peridell's soil.
He nods and says, indeed, but I'm not Perrin.
No. That's very clear.
And then looks back at Viggo and says, had you not interjected, the Black Knights would have fallen either way. Your interjection just made it quicker, significantly quicker, like it's more or less done quicker, but to also put pieces in play that didn't need to be.
Oh, so the current situation is our fault.
If you want to twist my words to benefit your narrative, you can try, but you know that's not what I said.
Sounds a lot like what you said.
Thank you, Tristan.
He says, listen, I have much that I could explain to you, but it seems like you only have one thing in mind here.
If we had one thing, we wouldn't be talking.
It's called an arrest. We can talk about it once it's happened. Unless that is, actually, some of these things you're trying to blame on us, you do think are your fault. Do you think you're guilty?
I think it's unfortunate that people like Rylor had to perish because he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And for that, I carry weight in my heart.
Maybe you should have worked
Scott?
with Rylor then.
To make things easier, what I'm going to do is when I hold up my hand like this, I've charged one PowerPoint. Just
Okay.
so I don't interrupt the
There you go.
conversation.
1 sec.
And then
Be right
it
back.
won't obviously last certainly around, but yeah.
We'll have to hold for a second.
Oh, well-
Jake's doing something real quick.
Okay. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll just like hold up my hand like this. I've loaded a PowerPoint, and then obviously just tell me when to drop it, and I'll drop it because it's been like around.
No problem. Well,
But yeah, I just realized that I would have like where that conversation was going there. I would have wanted to do that right then, just for like a just in case, because it was going in that direction of like a big like sort of thing.
completely understood. All right, so I will give a moment. Yeah, but I have to agree. So, like what Viking's saying right there, the idea that a paladin of Helm has to be lawful good makes little sense for a god like Helm. To me, the idea that a lawful, neutral god like Helm, like if I remember correctly, he was the only one that wasn't cast from celestial from the heavens during the time of troubles. That they would have to be lawful good is strange to me.
I know nothing about the gods.
It's specifically we're talking about Faerunian gods in this instance, but the short version is in like 1372, I think the year was, because of the actions of Balbane and not Balbane and Mirkul and all sorts of other shit going on. The gods were all cast from the heavens for their hubris by Ao, who is like the overseeing god. He's like the Ao is like Alpha Omega, like the big god that oversees the entire crystal sphere of of Abertoril. And he cast all the gods out and left literally only one god with celestial power to look after the celestial staircase, so no gods can go back in. And then Mistra was like, okay, bro. Well, considering that I'm like the goddess of magic, you can get the fuck out of the way. And he was like, I cannot allow you to pass. And she's like, bro, I'm literally the goddess of magic. I am older than you even understand time is. Get the fuck out of my way. And he's like, I care not allow. And then she tries to go up and he cuts her down and she dies. And yeah, no other gods really tried to go up that way again. And later on, her power was transferred to Midnight, who just took on the persona of Mistra. But
So all the other gods are, you're all right then.
yeah. The others were like, well, if Mistra can't do it, whoop. So, because technically, Mistril, who is the first goddess of magic, was, I think, the third god in creation. Because I think it was Shar and Salune, and then Mistril was the third goddess. Mistril eventually, because of XYZ, died and became Mistara, who, because of XYZ, died and became Mistra, who then, because I just described, died and became Midnight. But I think in, like, the current... I don't really give a shit about the story after, like, the Spell Plague. I don't really... The Spell Plague was boring. So, like, I don't really know much about the history afterwards. But I think Mistra even came back or something. I don't know. But Midnight was a cool character. She was a chosen Mistra prior. So, but anyways. Yeah, they didn't like being mortal, of course. Cyric killed... Who did Cyric kill? Using his sword. I used to know that entire story arc. like the back of my hand. Like all the gods did during that time. God, I knew it all so well. I've run so many campaigns during the time of Troubles and so many campaigns afterwards, like kind of like re-going over it. And then Midnight got killed and it passes to another 3.0 starting. No. No, Midnight didn't get killed prior to... I'm pretty sure Midnight was still the goddess in 3.0. Pretty sure Midnight was still the goddess when 3.0 was in place. I could be mistaken. Yeah, Sarah killed Bane. Yeah. But either way. So, waiting for Jake to return. Sorry, everybody. We're in the middle of an intense RP. It's kind of hard to do without one of the people in it.
Yeah,
So
it's unfortunate timing. But it just it's how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
I've forgotten what I was going to say. I was going to say something.
I think he just really had to poop. He's like, guys, I just got to poop. And he ran. So...
I'm sure
I don't care for
that's what
standard
it was.
D&D lore. It's the same. So that's not standard D&D lore unless you're into 5e. Faerun lore is not standard D&D lore. Faerun was an alternative world. I think Greyhawk was the standard D&D lore for editions 1, 2, 3, and I think even 4. 5e was the first one that was like, listen, R.A. Salvatore sells a fuck ton of books, and people go nuts over Forgotten Realms video games. So why don't we just make 5e based in Faerun, and if you want to play in another world, you could be the weirdo. But 5e is standard Faerun, but other editions were not standard Faerun. They transitioned it.
Okay. Yeah, it's a lot of lore.
Yeah,
I
it is
think,
the standard lore in 5e, but like for instance, we're playing Pathfinder, so Galarian is the standard lore here.
I think if I was ever to try and run something, it would definitely be a homebrew setting, simply because there's just so much. I'd rather have full knowledge of my own world, but it'd be a little bit smaller than have like not the full. I'd need to dive super deep in a setting before I'd be willing to run it, sort of thing.
In the only downsides of homebrew world, which obviously this is what my 5th campaign in this homebrew world, right, on this channel,
Yeah.
including them interacting, like literally you guys are in the same timeline as Regicide, running around each other right now.
Yeah,
Anyways,
why have we always got to deal with Regicide?
don't worry
Like,
about
why
it.
do we have to deal with the problem child?
So anyways,
Why can we just like interlink with
Warmonger?
Thronekeeper?
Thronekeeper, you know why. Anyways,
That'd be a lot nicer for us, right?
Continue what we were saying before. The downside to a homebrew world is people ask questions that you don't yet have answers to. And you have to give a measured answer, because depending on what answer you give, that could very much change whole perspectives of the entire landscape, country, continents, world, so on and so forth. So it's like homebrew worlds are nice if you keep things really insular and small, or if you have time to build up the background first, but things can get away from you quickly. When you have like a pre-written lore, like Eberron or Faerun or Greyhawk or what have you, like I have every Eberron and Faerun book published from 5th edition earlier, and I've read all of them at least once. Like, so I have so much fucking background, so if somebody asks questions, I can just cross-reference to what's already in existence, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the reason why I haven't run anything yet. It's because I'm still working on my world, but I am trying to put a significant amount of time into it.
Yeah. It's fun. So, like, for instance, when I was doing the first ever streamed campaign over on Lost Initiative with Sam and all them, Sam's whole backstory was based off of a footnote in one of the Faerunian lore books. His character Rai was based off of somebody called the goddamn, what was his name? The Wheat. Oh God. Now I can't remember what his name is because it's been so many years. I have my notes written somewhere, but based off of a character that's like a footnote in one of the along the Sword Coast countries. That wasn't it's one of the other ones. Give me 1 second while we're still waiting for Jake to pull up those old notes. Oh shit! I did not want Google Play. I don't care about Google Play. I've literally never used it. Lost
Wow,
initiative.
that sounds real sus, Scott. Like, my God, I just saw you venting, dude.
Huh?
Sorry, it's non-boomer speak. Don't worry about it.
Thanks. Oh, here we go. Rise forebearer was Grast. Her patron was the Spader. Let's see. Trumpet icon. Grain Lord. It was about the Grain Lord. So there's the city of Triel.
The Grain Lord? You mean Mr. Warburton?
Huh? No, there's somebody called the Grain Lord, and her name is Rye. It was this whole big backstory thing that I written forever ago. To like, we're talking like footnotes and
the Grain Lord's name is Rye. Oh
no,
God,
that's not what I said at all.
Oh,
Strippin's
no.
character's name was Rye. The Grain Lord was a character in a city called Triel.
Oh, thank God! I was gonna say if the
Oh,
Grain
okay.
Lord's name was Rye. My God,
That would be funny.
I've been like, weep, way do I go to get out of here?
Krovax knows what I'm talking about. So, anyways, it was this whole backstory that I did forever ago for that character. I hope everything's okay with Jake. He's been gone for a hot minute, so I assume one of his children
Yeah.
needed something. So
I presume he's just beating something to death in anger over what happened earlier with this stupid gnome. After he's been like, well, it's kind of your fault that Rilor died twice. Now he's just out there with a baseball bat and some gigantic spider just like fighting it.
just beating the shit out of a huntsman. So
Yeah. Stupid fucking no. I mean, they're about the same size as the gnome, right? Like,
we usually maybe we should just take a break because like we're in the middle of an intense RP and we can't continue it without the highest ranking character in the middle of the RP moment. So I guess I'll go take a pee and make a quick coffee. And if you guys want to take a moment, we'll be right back. Sorry everybody, keep you
Coffee
waiting.
time.
Jake clearly had to go do something important, so we'll be right back to everybody. So 1 second. Be right back.